called to St. Luke's Hospital on Monday, October 12th at about 12:30 p.m. for a reported gunshot victim. He had been brought to the hospital in a private vehicle by members of his own family. Lucas Leonard, the victim, was pronounced dead at the hospital shortly after his arrival. After initial interviews were conducted with the family members who transported Leonard to the hospital, two possible crime scenes were identified. The first scene was at the Word of Life Christian Church, located at 3354 Oneida Street in the town of Hartford. The second scene was a residence located at 2347 Main Street in Clayville in the town of Paris. Once determined that the crime scene could be in two different locations, two different townships, the New York State Police were requested to respond to the hospital so a joint investigation could begin. As the investigation progressed, it was determined that the Word of Life Church was the scene of the crime, and a search warrant was obtained for that location. The New York State Police SORT team, the Metro team, consisting of Utica and New Hartford SWAT officers, along with members of the Rome SWAT team, secured the church ground and eventually made a tactical entry into the church building without incident. Members of the New York State Police Forensic Identification Unit and New Hartford Forensic Unit processed the scene. Several church members were interviewed from Sunday afternoon into the early morning hours of from Monday afternoon into the early morning hours of Tuesday. Several children were removed from the church during this investigation and turned over to the United County Child Protective Services Unit. The victim, Leonard, sustained apparent blunt force trauma to his torso and extremities during the assault. An autopsy was conducted by the Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office. Multiple contusions of the torso and extremities were noted. It was determined that the combination of injuries and the duration of the assault contributed to his death. However, the cause and manner of death are pending further examination. The initial reports of a gunshot wound are unfounded. During the course of the investigation, a second male victim, Christopher Leonard, age 17, the brother of Lucas, was located. Christopher is currently in serious condition in a hospital suffering injuries caused by blunt force trauma during an assault. During the course of numerous interviews with members of the church, it was additionally learned that after church services ended Sunday night, the church held a counseling session for Lucas and his family. It was explained to us that a counseling session is when a pastor or someone from the church would sit down with a member of the church to discuss their spiritual state. These sessions are held in a sanctuary room. During the counseling session involving Lucas Leonard and his brother Christopher, the session turned physical. Both brothers were continually subjected to physical punishment over the course of several hours in the hopes that each would confess the prior sins and ask for forgiveness. On Monday morning, later morning, members of the church noticed that Lucas wasn't breathing, and he was transported to St. Luke's Hospital for treatment. As a result of this investigation, the following church members were arrested and charged with the indicated crime.